Have you ever felt like your dreams are too far away? That you're too small to make a difference in such a big world? Let me share the story of someone who started with nothing but a curious mind and ended up changing the world. This is the story of Bill Gates. Born on October 28, 1955, in Seattle, Washington, Bill grew up in a loving middle-class family. His father was a lawyer, and his mother was a teacher who later served on corporate boards. They encouraged education and curiosity. From an early age, Bill was different. He loved reading and spent hours in the family library, especially fascinated by books on science and history. School bored him because the lessons were often too simple. His sharp mind needed more. At age 13, his life changed when his school, Lakeside School, introduced him to a computer. In the late 1960s, computers were rare and massive, but Lakeside had one. The first time Bill used it, he was hooked. He taught himself programming and created his first software, a simple tic-tac-toe game. At Lakeside, Bill met Paul Allen, an older student who also loved computers. Though different in personality, Paul quiet, Bill energetic, they shared a common dream, that one day every home would have a computer. In high school, they launched their first business, Traf-O-Data, a system that analyzed traffic patterns. They earned $20,000, an impressive sum for teens. More importantly, they realized their ideas could become reality. Bill enrolled at Harvard University in 1973. His parents hoped he'd become a lawyer, but Bill spent most of his time in the computer lab. Then in 1975, he and Paul discovered a new personal computer, the Altair 8800. They knew it was the beginning of something huge. Although they didn't own an Altair, they created software for it. The software worked. That year, Bill made a life-changing decision. He dropped out of Harvard and co-founded Microsoft with Paul Allen. They had no office, no team, only a vision. Their breakthrough came when IBM asked for an operating system. Bill didn't have one, but instead of saying no, he found and improved one, renaming it MS-DOS. It became the core software for IBM computers and catapulted Microsoft to global success. In 1985, they released Windows, an operating system with a visual interface. It revolutionized personal computing and made Microsoft a household name. By the age of 31, Bill Gates became the youngest self-made billionaire in history, but success didn't slow him down. He believed in constant learning and improvement. One of his famous quotes is, "Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose." In 1994, Bill married Melinda French, a Microsoft employee who shared his values. Together, they built not just a family, but a global mission. In 2000, they launched the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, now one of the largest charitable organizations in the world. Their focus, health, education, and fighting poverty. Bill once said, "My wealth has more utility in giving it back to society than keeping it for myself." Even after stepping back from Microsoft in 2006, Bill continued to work on global issues, from clean energy to education reform. He believes innovation in science can solve the world's hardest problems. One day, a journalist asked Bill, "What's your secret to success?" Bill smiled and handed the journalist a blank check, saying, "Write any amount." The man laughed and refused. Bill replied, "That's the difference between you and me. When I see an opportunity, I take it." That lesson, take action, is one of Bill's biggest messages. Don't wait. Don't overthink. Seize opportunities. Despite his wealth, Bill lives simply. He reads every morning, values family time, and raised his children with humility. He once said, "If you are born poor, it's not your fault, but if you die poor, it is." He chose not to give most of his fortune to his children, explaining, "I want them to create their own path. Too much money could remove their motivation." His story is proof that true success isn't about money. It's about vision, action, and helping others. From a curious boy who loved books to one of the most influential people on earth, Bill Gates' life shows us what's possible when you combine knowledge with purpose. So remember, you don't need to be born a genius or a billionaire. You just need a dream, the courage to pursue it, and the willingness to work for it.